Yes, I. Welcome once again. That's on Studio, the Wave Show podcast, with a special guest this time, Mark Dubiterian.
Yes,
Yes, bro. Big
Yes,
thanks for
bro.
coming down. Big thanks for coming down.
Thank you for inviting me.
Nah, lovely to have you. Lovely to have you.
Yes, cool,
We've
man.
linked up recently, but we've already managed to do a few magical things. But I'm
Yes,
super happy that you came on the podcast. You know, we can talk about about your life and a little bit about production and music and.
yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
something. Yeah, man.
All right. So yeah, as we usually do here on the Wave Show, maybe let's if you don't know, obviously all the links for Dubiterian stuff are gonna be in the description below. But Dubiterian musician, multi-instrumentalist, but mostly known for the melodica.
Yes,
Yeah, nice one.
yes. I
So-
mostly know for the melody.
Yeah. So maybe let's start from the beginning. So you were born in Brazil.
Yes, born in Brazil, in São Paulo. Grew up in Brazil, and like when I was about 18, I moved to Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't even know that. So
You
when
didn't
you were
know
18, no. So
Yeah.
when you were 18, you already moved to Germany, because I know you've got mixed roots. You
Yeah.
were telling me recently about that you
Yeah,
got.
big mix. I am a remix. I have a German grandfather,
Uh-huh.
Polish grandmother, like you, Polish.
Yeah, man.
And then my motherly grandparents are from Lebanon and Syria.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm-
that's definitely a mix.
And
Yeah.
I was born in Brazil. So
And born in Brazil. Born and kind of raised in Brazil, because until you were 18,
Yeah.
you were living in Brazil.
actually, I was still 17 when I moved to Germany.
Okay.
And I had to wait like 1.5 months
Mhm.
to turn 18 and start work.
Okay. Okay. Do you
Yeah.
speak German or
Yes, I speak German.
you speak fluent German?
Yes.
Oh,
ja,
there
man.
you go. There you go. I
Ich
didn't
kann
even.
Deutsch sprechen.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know.
Bisschen bayerisch, ja.
All right. So 3 languages definitely, or more. You speak more
More.
languages?
I speak Spanish also.
Okay. So
Bra-
Portuguese,
Portuguese,
English,
English, German,
German, Spanish. Nice one. Nice
a
one.
little
nice.
bit Italian.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me. All right. Let's go to the beginning. So how was it growing up in Brazil? You were already into music, or how did it all start
so
for you?
it's Like when I was 7 years old,
Mm.
my father put me in the music school
Okay.
and I started playing the flute.
Mm-hmm.
I studied 1 year the flute.
Okay.
It's called, I learned that in England it's called the recorder. It's not the flute.
Oh, for real? I didn't know
The
that.
flute is like this.
Okay.
Did you know? You
No,
didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. A friend of mine told me.
Okay. Okay.
Rebecca, greetings.
Uh-huh.
The recorder, okay? So I played first 1 year the recorder, and then on the second year I was studying the recorder and the piano,
Okay.
all right?
So
you-
classically trained, kinda.
Yeah, classical music.
Yeah.
So you get the mix, recorder, piano, later turn into melodica.
And you also played the bass, from what I know.
Yeah, since I was 7, I studied 2 years the recorder,
Mhm.
and then the piano, classical music, I studied till I was 15. So I
Okay.
studied like 7 years the piano.
So proper music. You read notes and stuff, and
I used to read notes.
Yeah.
Now if I get it, I can still read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's not. Yeah.
I did the
like
same when I was
before.
7 years old. I did for 3 years piano, classical piano. So I used to read
Really?
notes. I used to play,
Yeah.
both hands, classical tunes.
How long did you?
I just
study?
played for like 3-4 years, and then I
You
quit
quit.
because I was lazy. Let's not mess about.
Yeah, I couldn't quit because my father wouldn't let me,
Yeah.
and I had to study.
Well, that's
every
good.
day-
I think
every
that-
day 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen, now you're doing the music thing, so it's
Yeah.
all good,
And
So big up the
since-
father for pushing, yeah.
Yes, my father pushed me. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot. Since I was about 8 or 9, my father put me also in German school.
Okay,
German private course.
okay,
Not the school. School is normal Brazilian school,
Yeah.
but I had a private German teacher for
Mhm.
like 5 years.
He was prepping you already for the German trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when I was a kid, I tell you, I used to go to school in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and then, for example, Monday afternoon, I had 1 hour German course, German class. Then Tuesday, 1 hour piano lesson in the music school.
Yeah.
Wednesday, 1 hour karate training. You know, karate
Oh
fighting.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And for example, Thursday, I had to go swimming for 1 hour, swimming lesson.
So he filled up your time like.
And on Friday, I had painting lessons.
That's mad.
So every day of the week, I was
Yeah.
busy doing something extra from school. So my father did that to me and to my brothers too.
How many siblings you got?
I had 2 brothers,
Uh-huh.
and before my father was married before, so I
Okay.
have a sister in Bolivia.
Okay.
Also, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So that was how I grew up until I was 14. Then my father passed away.
Okay.
I had
to hear that, yeah.
heart problems, and so since I was a kid, we studied German, and we have German passports. So we always, since I was very young, we always thought, oh, we're gonna live abroad when we grow up.
Yeah.
So we
You always had that.
always had that idea.
Yeah.
Since I was growing up, I never thought, like my friends, they were thinking what they're gonna study, in which
Yeah.
university, in which city in Brazil.
Yeah.
I never worried about that. I was thinking I'm going to Germany.
Listen, I'm going out.
Yeah. So that's how I grew up.
Okay.
And I had a lot of music at home. Skateboard, I always loved skateboards.
Yeah, I know you're into skateboarding as well. Yeah.
Yeah, since I was very young, like 7 or so, I was into skateboarding. Yeah. Tony Hawk was the big hero. Still is.
Of course, yeah. Tony was
He's
still big. Yeah, big up Tony
legend.
Hawk.
Yeah.
So you already, you were doing music in school. You were already into reggae at that time, or when did you like?
No. At that time, I was first, like, when I was 11, 12, I was into Dead Kennedys, Ramones, into punk rock.
Yeah, punk rock music.
And also heavy metal. Ozzy
Okay.
Osbourne, Black
Okay.
Sabbath, Iron Maiden. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to some other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but still rock.
Yeah.
And then after this beginning in the punk and heavy metal, I became a huge fan of Led Zeppelin
Mm-hmm.
and Rush.
Oh yeah.
So Rush and Led Zeppelin was my top bands ever. And Metallica then.
Nice.
Yes, also, but like Rush, do you know a band?
Yeah,
Rush,
of
from
course.
Canada?
Yeah, from Canada. Yeah.
And Led Zeppelin, those were for me
legendaries.
the
I got
legend, the
Led
biggest
Zeppelin records, of
influences.
course. Yeah.
And all these years studying the piano, classical music,
Mm.
I was listening to Led Zeppelin,
Mm.
and I wanted to play that music that I was listening to,
Mm.
some rock music.
Yeah.
And there is more guitars and bass, you
Yeah.
know. So I
That's how you picked up the bass, or?
yeah, that's how I picked up the bass when I
Okay.
was like 15.
Okay.
Because my brother got a bass,
Mm-hmm.
but he moved to guitar, to electric guitar.
Okay.
So I got that bass
Okay.
and trying playing it, and I asked my mother to buy for me a bass. Then
Oh,
I got
nice
my
one.
first bass.
Nice
I was 15 years old,
Yeah.
and I taught myself playing the bass.
Mhm.
Never had a teacher.
Mm.
Then I was playing bass. I always played bass. Actually, I was learning all those songs by hearing.
Yeah.
I used to play full albums the whole day after school, after all those lessons, German and swimming, everything.
Yeah.
I used to go home and play along full albums every day. I was playing,
That's mad.
practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also had a band. I had a school band. We used to play
What's the name of the band? I'm always curious about those band names.
Crusher.
Crusher.
You remember?
So big up Crusher from Brazil.
Yeah.
Big up all the mates.
We played mainly Rush, Led Zeppelin.
Covers. You
Yeah,
play
we
covers.
also played some Rage Against the Machine.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, because it was in the 90s.
Yes,
Early
yeah.
90s.
Okay.
So when this music came out, Nirvana,
Mm.
Pearl Jam,
Yeah.
we also played some of that.
The grunge
Stone
rock
Temple
scene. Yeah.
Pilots, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the grunge rock, yeah.
Yeah.
But after moving to Germany is when I learned reggae.
Okay.
When
Starting getting into reggae.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like in Brazil, I heard some reggae, of course. You hear sometimes in the radio, on TV. I remember when I was very, very young, my parents were driving us to school.
Yeah.
like early morning, like 6 a.m. And my father turned on the radio, and I remember my mother saying, "Oh, Bob Marley died." And I was very young, and that stayed in my mind. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, who was Bob Marley at that time? You didn't know. Yeah.
And she heard that in the radio,
Mm.
and she said, "Oh, he passed away."
Mm.
So I was 5,
Mm.
and I remember this.
Yeah.
And I always heard something Bob Marley, but I wasn't really into it. But about when was it? Like in 95,
Mm.
1995. I was 19 or so. Then I started listening to Bob. I had a flatmate, student, who had a triple CD of early Bobs with Lee Perry. You know,
Nice.
Rainbow Country.
Yeah.
Natural
The first
Mystic.
producer actually who's working with Bob Marley, Lee Perry. Yeah.
Yeah, those early recordings.
Yeah.
Bob Marley.
Yeah.
So I listened that a lot, and then I got 2 Alpha Blondie CDs from another friend.
Mm-hmm. Jerusalem. Yeah.
Jerusalem Live in Paris.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah,
and
that's a classic
Masada.
one. Yeah.
Masada. I had these 2 albums. So I listened a lot to this, and these were the first 2 bands that I really was into, reggae, Bob Marley and Alpha Blondie. And then I discovered, friends were showing me,
Yeah.
Israel Vibration.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
was,
I know Israel
wow.
Vibration. Yeah, of course.
It was for me.
That was
wow,
actually one of the
excellent.
first that my friends introduced me to as well. Obviously I knew Bob Marley, but when I started getting really into reggae, I was like, yeah. Those are the similar.
Israel Vibration.
And also one of the first for me was Scientist albums and Augustus Pablo albums. That's my first loves, like real reggae loves, was Augustus Pablo and Scientist albums.
Yeah, the first ones I was introduced to was Steel Pulse.
Oh yeah,
Israel
Steel Pulse. I know
Vibration,
Steel Pulse. Yeah, big up Steel Pulse. Yeah.
Culture.
Culture. Yeah, man.
And then I got I got a CD from a friend, was Maccabee, produced by Mad Professor, Discrimination.
Oh yeah.
And that was this first electronic reggae that I
from the
heard.
digital era, yeah, 80s,
and the
90s.
dubs and everything. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, big up Mad Professor, big up Maccabee, of course. Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah.
And then I was looking for more Mad Professor and more Lee Perry, and then I heard Augustus Pablo. Like the first Augustus Pablo I listened to was some Augustus Pablo produced by Lee Perry,
Okay.
and I think other stuff. No, that was it. Lee Perry and Augustus Pablo. I think was this Vibrate On.
Oh, I've got the 7-inch. I'll make it
Wow.
vibrate on.
Yeah, I love that, man. When I heard that.
That's a tune right there. Vibrate on. Augustus
Yeah,
Pablo. Yeah, check it.
Really.
That's a great record. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was more into reggae.
Okay.
Then,
You started getting into more reggae. And,
since like 95, I like my life changed completely when I moved to Brazil.
Yeah.
Going to Germany.
Yeah, obviously. So it's like, two different cultures.
Yeah, all the time. I was growing up with my parents and family, friends. Brazil is tropical, and then I moved to Germany.
And you were on your own there, or you?
Yeah, my older brother was there first.
Okay.
But I was living by myself.
Mhm.
At first I lived with him,
Yeah.
and then I got like a student room for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Then I was all alone, free,
Yeah.
and my life changed completely. And also, I started listening to reggae and also other stuff. I was listening all kinds of music,
Yeah.
Brazilian music, some samba I never listened to before.
Bossa Nova.
Yeah, Indian music, Ravi Shankar.
Yeah, Ravi Shankar.
is-
Yeah.
Lots of stuff. Man.
Yeah. It was actually very similar to me because my friends, they introduced me to reggae and also those Ravi Shankar and things. So that's crazy. Man.
And
That's
two
crazy.
things, two reasons.
Big up Philip, by the way, who used to give me lots of CDs. Big up my brother Adam and big up Philip. They used to bombard me with CDs, man.
Really.
Yeah, I remember those even back in the day when you used to have these Troyan compilation box sets. Remember those?
Yes.
I used to just write down the artists and then try to find each artist's discography and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Look,
It's
in
crazy.
Brazil, in the 90s, there was rental shops. You could rent CDs
Okay, I didn't.
because you couldn't burn CDs.
Uh-huh.
There were no computers.
Yeah,
burn
yeah.
CDs.
Or if they had burners, it was super expensive or something
Yeah,
crazy.
super expensive and
Yeah.
not in Brazil.
Yeah.
Maybe in the States or
Okay.
here, you know.
Yeah.
So we used to rent CDs
Mm-hmm.
like we used to
Rent
used to rent
VHSs.
VHS.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
There were CD shops.
That's crazy.
So we used to take CD home,
Uh-huh.
record it on tape.
Oh yeah. And give it back.
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's how I listened to all this reggae music because I had one friend who was into this
Uh-huh.
and he showed me all this stuff.
That's crazy.
In Brazil.
So when you rent the CD, did they used to, were they like scratched and everything? Because people probably didn't care that much. They're renting it.
Yeah, there are the terms and conditions.
Uh-huh.
When you rent, they show you, look, the CD is
Oh, it's
fine.
like this. So you gotta bring it
must-
back like this. Yeah. If you don't bring back like this, you're gonna get a fine or something.
Yeah, but before that, with the VHS,
Yeah.
you used to rewind the tape,
Oh yeah.
you know, before you return it. And if you
Crazy.
return
Yeah,
the
I
tape,
remember those VHS tapes. Some of the people watching this might not know even what the VHS is. It's the
talking
big
about-
tapes that you used to watch films on. For those who don't
big
know.
tape, and
Yeah.
you used to rent it from
Mhm.
the shop. So when you return the tape, you had to rewind. If you forgot to rewind the tape, you had to pay.
Pay extra because you didn't rewind it. Oh my god, that's crazy. All right, so you lived in Brazil, then you moved to Germany. Now you're on your own. You started
Studying.
Are you studying there? Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the university.
Okay. What did you study? If you don't mind me asking.
I started electrical engineering, but
Okay.
I quit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Electrical engineering. Well, listen.
because my father was an engineer, so
Okay.
I was thinking I would do what my father.
Yeah, following the
does.
steps. Yeah.
So my older brother, he studied mechanical engineering, and I've chosen electrical engineering. My father was a mechanical engineer
Okay.
for Caterpillar,
Okay.
and that's why he went to Brazil, because my father, he worked for Caterpillar
Okay.
all his professional life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The caterpillars that they build the trucks and all the machinery.
The
for
tractors.
the
cat,
tractors. Yeah.
those yellow.
I remember. Yeah.
machines,
Yeah.
huge machines.
Yeah.
so,
Huge machines. Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Cool.
yeah.
Okay. So you're living in Germany now. So how long do you go back and forth to Brazil, or you just like staying there, or?
Yeah, since I went to Germany, I went first time in '94.
Mm-hmm.
I went every year to Brazil.
Okay.
Every year I went
Yeah.
for like 1 month.
Yeah.
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 Since then, since about '94,
Mm-hmm.
I hardly spent 1 year in one country.
You're
Yeah.
traveling a lot.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm here since 1 year and a month in London.
Yeah.
So now I'm over 1 year in this country. But and I also was like 2.5 years in Brazil. But usually, the years that I lived in Brazil, like those past years, I used to go to Mexico every year.
Okay.
To LA,
Okay.
to the States every year.
All right.
Every year I fly somewhere.
So you're a globetrotter as well.
World
traveling around.
citizen.
All right, nice one. All right, so maybe tell us now how did your melodica journey start?
The
How did you pick up the melodica?
The melodica was like this. When I discovered reggae music,
Yeah.
I was a lot into Augustus Pablo.
Okay.
This was what I loved most. Well, first Bob Marley, of course, was also the first.
Yeah.
But Augustus Pablo had something mystical.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
And
one of my favorites as well.
I didn't know the instrument.
Mhm.
I didn't know what a melodica
Yeah.
is. So I used to say the little flute or the little recorder. I didn't know what that is. You know that flute?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was listening to a lot of Augustus Pablo, and one day my younger brother,
Mm.
he also moved to Germany, but he didn't stay long in Germany. But
Mhm.
when he was in Germany, it was in '99.
Mhm.
He saw a melodica. He bought a melodica in a second-hand shop,
Okay.
and he came home playing that. And I saw it. Say, "Hey, that's the Augustus Pablo instrument." And he said, "Yeah, I bought it in a second-hand shop."
Yeah.
And I said, "Give me that." I tried. And since I used to play the flute and the recorder and the
Yeah.
piano, you know,
Yeah.
I started to pick
You
the
picked it up
melodies.
quickly. Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Like, as I said before, I was playing the bass. I learned everything from hearing.
Okay.
So I had a lot of training, years of
Yeah.
training.
Obviously, you've got an ear. You have to have like a musical ear as well for that. Yeah.
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 Also in the music school, we used to train the ears.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Like if it's a half key, or a
Yeah.
half step, or a
Mhm.
full step, I had to train the ears.
Yeah. When you go to musical school, yeah, I know that from as well. Yeah, from they train you in all these classicals, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
So when I first saw the melodica, I said, "That's Augustus Pablo instrument," and then I started to learn at home, and I had 2 CDs, and I learned both CDs,
You learn how to play every rhythm.
all songs,
That's crazy.
all songs.
That's
It's
mad.
the Earth's
Earth's
Rightful Ruler
Yes. Sir.
album and compilation
Okay.
El Rockers
Enough.
de la Central is like a Spanish name.
Okay. Okay.
Like Central Rockers.
Okay.
It's a compilation with Black Gun, Rockers, Sata Masagana,
Okay.
those classicals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I played those 2 albums from top
From top to bottom.
100 million times.
That's mad. That's lovely. That's
And
lovely.
2 reasons why I got so into reggae.
Mm.
First, the lyrics. When I first heard Bob Marley saying like, we want to go back home and things like this,
Yeah.
I used to miss my country, Brazil,
Mm.
and I felt very familiar with
I
that.
get you. Yeah.
And-
Yeah. You related to the records. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, to the
Yeah.
lyrics.
Yeah.
And when they say we suffer in a Babylon, and,
Yeah.
and I was like in Germany, cold, and I had to work.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
In Brazil, I never had to work.
Yeah. When you
know?
were growing up, now you gotta go work.
Yeah, no,
It's like,
suffer
yo, this
in
is the
a
real
Babylon.
Babylon. You
And
know?
then you see how it works, how people are rude and stressful
Mm-hmm.
when you have to work and pay bills and stuff. And then we suffer in a Babylon, and I
Mhm.
was totally related to this. And second reason, because when you play rock music, the guitar is always on top of the bass.
Yes.
Usually.
Yeah.
But in reggae music, it's different.
It's more about the drum and the bass.
The bass leads the rhythm.
Yes,
Actually,
that is
if you-
true.
When you talk about the rhythm, you know that rhythm. You think about the bass line.
That is true.
usually.
Yeah.
So
I
the
get that.
bass- Yeah. So when I started playing, I loved the reggae because the bass was so important.
Mm.
And as a bass player, I loved it, and the
Nice.
lyrics, and then the melodica. So that was the combination.
That's magic. And you know, it did you well. You know, it took you places as well. You know, you've been. You know, but I mean, obviously, there's loads of productions that we can mention here. We're gonna put some links in the description as well. But yeah, so you started playing the melodica, and how did that journey take you? Because you know we're gonna come to our main points here. You know, obviously working
Yeah.
with scientists, big up scientists.
I started playing the melodica it was the summer of 1999,
Mm-hmm.
and it was when Augustus Pablo passed away.
Passed away. Yeah.
So it was like the same
Mhm.
time of the year, and the scientist said, I think I reincarnated.
That's
yeah,
mad. Yeah.
I started playing the melodica first at home.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
At home from 99 to 2002 was the first time I played like live
Mm.
in a
In the venue.
event. No, it was not a venue. I was in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and I had another band. I had a reggae band. I joined the reggae band. Actually, they had the band.
Okay.
I joined them as a bass player,
Okay.
but I always had a melodica with me. So one day we set everything up. We did sound check,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to play some CDs before
Before the show.
before the show. Yeah.
And you put on Augustus Pablo.
I put Augustus Pablo, went to the mic, and I was sitting in a chair and I played. And the people, there was a fireplace, some people were dancing. And then one girl came and she said, "Oh, he's playing live. Hey, play it louder, come on." And then and they liked it. And it was like first time.
So first unofficial gig was like
Yeah.
improvisation.
And then I started to do like this. Like before the show, I played like a few tunes
Mhm.
on CD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the rhythms on CD, and I played the live melodica. And then we played the live show with the band.
Okay, that's cool.
That's how it started, slowly. But I wanted to make rhythms first.
Mm-hmm.
I always, when I began, I wanted to be a rhythm producer
Mm-hmm.
because I played like the bass and the keyboards, and can do then the bubbles, can even do the drums programmed,
Yeah.
and then on top do the melodica. But my main idea was to make rhythms
Mm.
and to have my label.
Yeah.
And then I bought a machine from Boss, Roland.
Yeah.
It's like digital studio, like 8 tracks,
Yeah, like a
virtual
digital
tracks.
8-track. Yeah.
You have 2 inputs, a CD, you can mix it
Uh-huh.
with all those effects that you have.
And then
those
burn it
classical-
quickly to a CD or
burn the
something.
CD, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have one of these. This is how I began.
Uh-huh.
And I took one of these from Germany to Brazil, because there was 1 year I spent in Brazil in 2002. And I met some guys I joined 2 bands and met a lot of people and started recording something. But after like 1.5 year, I moved back to Germany because I wanted to study that thing. I want to know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Study
Because-
music and the,
Yeah, because like we try to record drums
Mhm.
in a home studio, but with this mic, with the 58,
Yeah.
and we couldn't get the bass.
Yeah.
And
You couldn't get the proper sound.
yeah, we didn't know why. We
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know what we're doing. So.
Yeah.
And then I said I want to know about microphones,
Yeah.
about recording and stuff.
Yeah.
This is when I went back to Germany, and I joined an audio school in Germany. It's called nowadays it's called Deutsche Pop,
Mhm.
but it used to be music support group.
Okay.
It began as a small private school from a guy who has a huge studio in
Okay.
South Munich,
Uh-huh.
and he always been successful with his studios for many years.
Mhm.
And then he started the school. Now the school is big. The school is worldwide, man. It
Nice one.
turned big.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, then I studied for 1 year, 1.5 year, some audio engineering basics and recording and music production.
Mhm.
Then in this time I was at home recording my stuff, some ideas.
Doing your little rhythms, yeah.
I started recording some of the rhythms I used to play with the bands before
Okay.
in Brazil.
Yeah.
Because I already knew the songs. I said, let's do it. And we also wanted to produce an album back in Brazil. So that's why I started recording them. But things changed and I moved. So
Yeah.
I started doing by myself. So if you see that double land rhythm was the first one I released on a 7-inch.
Okay.
It was an old rhythm we used to play back in Brazil with those guys. And I did actually just the instrumental first. And then the vocals came many years later.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So that was the first idea, making rhythms. And as I said, I had that first appearance in those events with the
Yeah.
live band.
Yeah.
But then I was back in Germany
Uh-huh.
without a band. I was by myself. And I was making this music, and I would like to play live somewhere, but I didn't know really where. And then someone told me that there was a place where there was a reggae party every Thursday, and I should go there and look for this guy who's the organizer. I said, okay, I'm gonna burn 2 CDs. I'm gonna give it to him. I had like 10 rhythms,
Mhm.
some with melodica, some without melodica, and that machine I told you, the digital studio,
Yeah.
I was bringing it live to the show, and I was mixing live.
Mixing live.
So
yeah,
I was
yeah,
doing
yeah. Oh,
live,
that's crazy.
live
Uh-huh.
dub,
Uh-huh.
sometimes playing melodica, and I had some MCs, some guys singing.
Yeah.
And then when I went to this club, I was looking for the organizer of the reggae event, and I met another friend in front of the club who I didn't see for many years. They say, "Yeah, what you doing here?" I say, "I'm a DJ. I'm gonna play tonight." They say, "Oh, take my CD." And I said, "I'm looking for that guy. He's the organizer." He said, "Oh, that's him." So I met,
all connected.
yeah, all connected. Like I was lucky,
Yeah.
and he invited me to one. He said, I have a gig like next month.
Come and play.
You come and play like 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I said, all right, great. And my first show then was like the first as Dubiterian, official. It was first. It started nice, but then we had some problems.
Mm-hmm.
We had some problems on stage because I had a friend, a Rasta, but he used to drink too much.
Okay.
Yeah, and he used to make trouble. And I said, I'm gonna mix, you sing,
Yeah.
and then I play some dub.
Yeah, yeah,
He said, okay. Then came another guy and said, hey, pass me the mic.
Yeah, yeah.
And they start fight. No, man, it's my show. I can't pass you the mic. And then came security.
Fight broke out.
Not fight, but
There's
some
just, some messing
verbal.
about. Some
and-
verbal things. Yeah, was said. Yeah.
And then I stopped. The DJs came and continued. And then I came back in the end of the night.
Mm.
But the club was like empty,
Yeah.
like 5 people there. But it was fun.
Yeah.
I love to when I first play my songs with that loud system.
Mm.
It was great experience because
yeah.
I've been doing it at home
Yeah.
and you don't have all the volume.
Yeah. But when you hear it on a proper sound system, it gives you that
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what you're doing now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then with these guys and with other guys in Munich, because I used to live in Munich,
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah.
I got one gig, like after 3 months, got another gig after 3 months, and then after 1 month, and then soon I had like every month a little something. But I played first in a lot of small
Yeah, of course, like everybody.
bars, clubs.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah.
And then I started in Munich. I played sometimes in Austria with Milan Soulfire. Now is another one production. Big up.
Mm-hmm.
He promoted me a lot in Salzburg in Austria, and then I was busy in Austria and South Germany, and then sometimes I had something like one gig in Berlin and other cities of Germany, and it starts expanding.
Yeah, start expanding, start growing.
Yeah. Then I played once in Italy, once in Budapest, in Vienna.
And then you started
growing,
going out of the
growing.
country, because I know a little bit. Then you later went to Mexico, right, to do a little tour.
Yeah, like after 5 years doing
These gigs, yeah.
Dubiterian
yeah.
in South Germany,
Uh-huh.
around South Germany. After 5 years, I got invited to Mexico,
Mm.
first time.
Okay.
And well, I went to Mexico actually for 3 weeks first, and it was extended. I was like 6 weeks
Okay.
because
You went to play obviously gigs there, do some.
yeah,
Yeah.
I went on tour.
Yeah.
I had 3 weekends booked.
But these are like tours where you're playing the melodic under your own rhythms, or just doing some covers. You're doing.
Then I was doing a lot of covers.
Okay. Okay.
Because I used to buy the 7 inches,
Mm-hmm.
the 7 inches with a version,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Because many of the times in the beginning when I was bringing my machine
Yeah.
to play the live dubs, it was
Yeah.
a problem because, I have the selectors with both turntables, the
Yeah.
mixer, CD player, everything,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a space to connect my stuff.
I get you.
And when the DJs are playing, they always play music faster.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come with my home productions,
Yeah.
everything homemade, unmastered.
Yeah. It just
sounds
didn't sound
too different.
Yeah. The quality was different. Yeah.
And then
Well, that's a good answer to it. So get for those who don't know, if you buy like 7-inch record, 7-inch vinyls, you usually have on one side you have the vocal version, on the other side you have the dub version, which is basically the instrumental version, mostly with a lot of drums and bass and sound effects and so on and
Yes.
so on. So that's why it's called the dub version.
yeah, so the
So you
selectors,
flip on the second side and you just
yeah, because usually everywhere I go, the selectors have versions. On the beat,
of course
on the
yeah
flip
yeah
side.
yeah yeah
So I used to bring my melodica only, and I I had a look what the selector has, or I tell him, do you have this and this rhythm?
Okay. And
oh yeah,
listen,
I have
I'll
this
play
and
on
this and this and
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
play this three first and then that other
Nice
one.
one, nice one, nice one.
So
nice one.
I was like
Doing a little showcase like that,
a
melodica.
showcase with the selectors. It
Mm.
was not a complete different thing doing my dub mix
I get you.
and this.
Mm-hmm.
So I was more into the selected music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to buy my own records.
Yeah, so you can
Like
play your
the-
own rhythms and then just
Yeah, for
Play
example,
over.
Augustus Pablo, you have the 7-inch with the instrumental on the flip
Yeah.
side.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
Bob Marley,
yeah.
Luciano, Gregory Isaacs.
Mm.
So I had started to buy and buy. I had like 80 versions or 100 versions. I could
You
play.
came prepared. You came prepared.
Yeah, I could play for like 5 hours non-stop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and sometimes I did. There
Nice
was
one.
there was times the guy said, "Hey, if you want to keep playing, and people
Keep
are
playing.
dancing." I play like 4
Play
hours.
until the people are dancing.
Yeah,
So you're in Mexico and then
yeah. In
then
Mexico,
you did a little jump up north.
yeah. In Mexico, I had this first 3 weeks were nice,
Mm.
and I said I'm close to California, and I have friends there.
Mm.
I always wanted to go there. I've been there once
Yeah.
before, but I always wanted to go back.
Yeah.
And then I say I'm in Mexico, so I'm gonna fly over quickly. And then I saw that another selector from Switzerland,
Mm-hmm.
he was gonna play a gig at the Dub Club,
Mm.
and I was
The
gonna
LA
be
Dub
there.
Club, yeah.
LA Dub Club,
Yeah.
and I was gonna be there that week. And I asked him, "Hey, can I join you? Like, you know, I play on your
Can I do a little
versions."
set? Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
talk to the guy, to Tom Chasteen,
Yeah.
big up.
Yeah.
And
up.
I spoke with Tom, and he said, "Sure, you come if you're already in town. You know, come for sure. You can play 30 minutes." I said, "All right, let's go." And I had for 30 minutes, I prepared 10 versions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, 10 rhythms, because it's like exactly 30 minutes. And then, well, I went to the place. I did a sound check, and I asked them, say, can you make sure I have a good reverb, a good delay on my microphone, because I don't like to play melodica dry, you know.
Yeah.
I
You
need
want
some-
to have some reverb, some delay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy say, yeah, don't worry, our engineer is good.
Don't worry, our engineer is good. Yeah, I know. I already know where you're going. Yeah. And who turned out to be the engineer?
Yeah, and turned out the engineer was scientist.
The one and only scientist. Big up scientist again. Legendary.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
up
man.
scientist. So after the show, scientist came and introduced himself
Mm.
to me,
Mm.
and that's how I met him. That's how I met him.
That's magic.
Yeah,
That's
man.
magic.
That was
Yeah, man.
great. man.
And speaking of scientists, you've done the whole record with scientists, the tribute to Augustus Pablo,
Yeah.
Dubiterian and scientists.
Actually,
together.
when I met him in 2009,
Mm.
I had already begun recording the tribute.
All right, so you're already doing it on your own, yeah?
Yeah, I was already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we met, he said he was gonna send me some rhythms, and I spoke to him about mixing the tribute. I think it was 2 years after. It was not immediate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 years after you met, you was like,
Yeah,
yo, if
I
you wanna
actually
mix
didn't
the
hear of him about 1 year or two
Uh-huh.
after I met him, because he had an assistant, and I was speaking through the assistant with him, but they were always very busy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I actually sent him the tribute like 2 years after. But he loved the tribute. He called me back, said, "Wow, I love it, I want to mix it."
Nice one. And that's how it came about. He mixed it for you, and it came out. Yeah. What label did it come out? I keep
It
forgetting.
came out on a Russian label called MIR.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Or I think they have another name else. I don't know,
Uh-huh.
because I didn't know their record.
Yeah.
I didn't make it. It
Yeah,
was a scientist
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scientists, the pressing and everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's a great album. I personally have a copy, which big up for that. You did a little signing
Thank
for
you.
me
I
as well.
signed
So,
for you.
yeah. So big up for that. I love that record.
Yeah.
Um,
man.
Yeah. So, but you've recorded, quite a bit of quite a bit of all the rhythms. You've got a nice discography. You've got some records out.
Yeah.
Apart from that,
y-
any big any ones that you want to mention, that records that came out under your name, Dubiterian, or
yes, recently, like this year,
mm.
I had 4 releases on
Mm.
vinyl.
Okay.
One of them was Adrian Sherwood. He produced a song with Daddy Freddy and me. And is this one with Pinch? No, not this one with Pinch. It's Daddy Freddy.
Okay.
It's on the Paid All Back
Okay.
compilation album.
Yeah. By Adrian Sherwood.
Adrian Sherwood.
Yeah. Big up Adrian Sherwood. Yeah.
It came out, I think, in January
Mm.
this year. Big up Adrian Sherwood. And then next production from Danny Moon is a scientist assistant. He also made the record.
Mm.
Jai High is a producer from France.
Mm-hmm.
It's an international thing.
Yeah.
I recorded for them and they pressed the vinyl
Okay.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Gaudi? Gaudi put out a compilation for the Theremin.
Oh yeah. Gaudi Theremin. Yeah, that's a great album as well. Yeah.
He got Mad Professor, Sherwood, Prince Fatty.
Yeah,
and,
great album, Big up Gaudi. Yeah, man.
and I helped him contact scientists
Okay.
to get a
You were the link between Gaudi and scientists.
Yeah. Yeah, I met Gaudi at Jazz Cafe this year.
Okay.
When we had the show with Adrian.
Okay.
Adrian
Okay.
Sherwood, yeah.
Nice one.
Gaudi was there and he told me about this album. It's 100 years, Theremin,
Yeah.
and he wants to do it. He had the deadline.
Yeah.
It was
Well, he's
very-
got loads of as you said, Adrian Sherwood scientists. There's a bunch of
Mhm.
mega producers up on that album. It's really good album.
Yeah, and from Raskosh, he also put out a record this year where I play also an Augustus Paulus song,
Mm.
but his rhythm production.
Mm.
Yeah, so those 4 albums came out this year.
But over the years, I know you've worked with lots of great artists and vocalists. I know you did some things with Ika Mouse.
Yeah, you come.
Yeah.
It's another long story.
That's another long story. I mean, if you want to go a little bit into it, because I know you've he was in Brazil a little bit, yeah, with you there or something.
Yeah, Icamaus was already in Brazil for like 2 years, I think.
Mm.
He was touring the northeast of Brazil,
Okay.
and then he was coming south. Then he went to Florianópolis, south of Brazil,
Uh-huh.
and it's where I met him because I knew the guys where he was living with.
Okay.
And then I went there. We spent New Year together in 2010.
Okay.
No, we spent actually Christmas together, and New Year's Eve I went to other friends. And
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Around
how
that time, 2010, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Christmas and New Year's time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, like 3-4 months later, after I met Ika Mouse, one day he came on Facebook asking for help. Say, hey, help me, bro. I need help. And then he told me he was having some issues.
Yeah.
And he needed a place to stay. I said, all right, then come to my place,
So you actually stayed at your place, yeah, for some time, yeah.
Yeah, and then he took a bus.
Mm-hmm.
He took a bus, came to my place, and he spent 2 months
Mm.
in my place.
How was that experience? living in the same house, yeah, with Ika Mouse.
Yeah, same house.
Yeah.
Well, I was living at that time.
Mm.
I went back to Brazil.
Mm.
Like I lived in Germany. I said before, I went in '94. I moved to Germany,
Yeah.
and I lived in Germany until 2009.
Okay. But as you said, you were going back and forth as well. So in
Back and
2009, then you went back to Brazil.
Yeah,
That was roughly, say, that Christmas time or whatever. That was 2009-10, right? That was
2009 was the year I went to Mexico and LA and met scientists and
Okay.
met Adrian Sherwood, because I met Adrian Sherwood in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a guy. He put a festival together.
All right.
It was,
Remember the name of the festival?
Yeah, Mictlan.
Okay.
Mictlan is a
Okay.
Mexican name.
Okay.
So the festival was me, and then Hornsman Coyote, you know, trombone.
Uh-huh.
Hornsman Coyote
Yeah,
and
yeah,
trombone.
Yeah.
Was Dubiterian Hornsman, and then was a DJ from New York, DJ Rupture.
Uh-huh.
Then Mongo's Hi-Fi with Kenny
Mongo's
Knotts.
Hi-Fi, yeah, from Scotland, yeah. Big up Mongo's, yeah. man.
Mongo's Hi-Fi, Kenny Knotts.
Yeah.
And Adrian Sherwood.
Mm.
This was the lineup.
All right. That's where you all met and connected, yeah?
Yeah, and then I played first my set,
Mm-hmm.
and then Adrian played. And after the show, it was same vibe like Scientist. He said, "Hey, I was watching you, man. I'm gonna send you some rhythms."
Nice, nice. There you go. Yeah.
That was cool. So it was the same trip. I met both
Uh-huh.
Mexico and LA. And then after this, I moved back to Brazil.
Okay, so after that, you
Yeah,
US
I
trip,
was doing the tribute to Augustus Pablo, then
Mhm.
sent to the
Oh,
Scientists.
yeah, you're
to
working
mix.
on that. Yeah.
And every year was going to Mexico. After the first time, I
Mhm.
went 2009, 2010, 11, 12,
Uh-huh.
and then 15 and 18,
Okay.
and 6 times
All right.
Mexico
Yeah,
and
yeah.
California.
Nice one.
And almost every time, I link up with Scientists and the other people.
Yeah, do some
Dub
work,
Club
do some
LA.
rhythms. Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego, Tijuana, love vibes.
Yeah. California style. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice one. Okay,
And-
so then you went back to Brazil.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
back to the house where I grew up.
Okay.
You know, same
Uh-huh.
house,
Okay.
still there.
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
And in this house came Ika Mouse as a visitor, and he spent 2 months there.
Mm.
And
Did you record anything during that time with him, or?
Yeah, I recorded some stuff, but most of the stuff we can't use.
Mm.
Yes, the lyrics. There's not some lyrics you want you want to put out, but actually, you can hear some stuff on some old Ika Mouse SoundCloud.
Uh-huh.
He put up some.
There's some stuff there out there. So for all the diggers who want to dig it out, listen, dig out.
Yeah. Don't promote that. Cut it.
All right. So I mean, I don't want.
Some stuff you can use. I
Yeah.
released some.
Yeah.
Like one song called "Pretty Girl"
Mm.
is on YouTube.
Mm.
Yeah, I did with Ika Mouse.
Okay.
Pretty girl.
Okay.
She's a pretty girl.
Well, to probably living with Ika Mouse, I know he can be kind of a character. I don't know him personally, but
Yeah.
from what I hear in the stories,
It was hard.
it was
Difficult.
it was definitely an interesting time. Yeah.
Difficult times. Yeah, interesting, funny times. He can make
Yeah.
you laugh.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can make you laugh.
Yeah.
But he got his issues.
He's got his own. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, all right. So after that, when did you jump to when you came to England? What last year?
year.
Yeah? Okay.
Last year. Yeah.
Okay. And
Um,
soon come, somebody wrote to you on Instagram and link up in that Sound studio.
Yeah, one day I was here walking by the Tottenham Stadium.
Yes, yeah. That's how I recognize you in the area, because I'm like, oh, this is the
Yeah,
in the
that-
area.
I was thinking, shall I post these photos? And I think, yeah, I will post that. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, yeah.
And then I posted and tagged Tottenham Stadium, and then you came and say,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, I live in the area.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
really
was already following you since a few years before, because obviously I was a big fan of Augustus Pablo. So when I saw Dubiterian doing a melodica thing, I was like, yo, he's
Yeah.
good, man.
Thank you.
It's good stuff. So that's I was following you for a bit of time before. So when I saw you up in here, I was like, yo, we gotta link up,
Yeah, when Ika Mouse was in my place, we had the following idea. He didn't have his rhythms,
Mm.
his own rhythms, to record dubplates or to make a show.
Yeah.
He couldn't play a session
Yeah.
because he didn't have his own rhythms to
Yeah.
sing on them.
Yeah.
So we had the idea that I would cover his rhythms,
Mm-hmm.
and we would do a live dub set. I would live mix, he would sing, I would play the melodica.
Cool. Yeah.
But Ika Mouse was never ready to record. He was
Mm.
always drunk, high, and never. And when he went to record, he wanted to sing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So
So that didn't really work out.
yeah, in the end, he didn't voice those songs that are on the classic
Mm-hmm.
album,
Yeah.
the classic rhythms.
Yeah.
He didn't voice them. Only 2 songs he did the backing vocals, the bong ding ding.
Yeah.
The
Ganja smuggling or what?
and what do them.
And what do them? Yeah,
Yeah.
the two most probably two most known
So
come-ups.
after I produced all the rhythms
Mm.
and he didn't voice them,
Mm.
and I said, okay, I'll do it a dub album,
Mm.
and scientists mix them. So
Nice
it
one.
came.
Nice one. All right, so yeah, so now we're here. I mean, so if you want to, I know you've got some things in the works. So if you want to say a few things,
Yeah.
a few words, which you're working on, and
There's an album I began like 10 years ago, and I will finish it soon. It's John Holt tribute.
yes,
Yes, it's John
that's
Holt
gonna
tribute.
be a good one. Melodica
Yeah.
tribute to John Holt.
I met his son virtually, like
Uh-huh.
on Facebook.
yeah,
Big up,
virtually, yeah.
Junior Holt. Big up.
Big up Junior Holt.
I released actually one tune with him,
Mm-hmm.
one or two.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. It's on YouTube. If you check Dubiterian Junior Holt, it's his son, John Holt's son,
Yeah.
singing. John
Nice
Holt.
one. Nice
Yeah.
one. And I know I don't know if we can talk about this.
Yes, there's an next production coming.
Yes. Which I'm
Uh,
super excited about because that's one of my all-time favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, I'm covering Scientist album, The Vampires.
Scientists rids the world of the evil curse of the vampires. One of
Yes.
my favorite all-time albums.
That
Yeah, man.
that was actually Scientist's idea.
Mm.
I always thought about that. I say, what if I cover that album or some tunes
Listen,
and send it to him?
Oh my god.
And one day he suggested it. Say, hey, can you do this? Yeah, man. And I have to finish.
Man,
waiting.
I'm so looking forward to that, you know.
And people who's interested in this can have a look in my Facebook page, also in your page.
yeah,
There
yeah.
is a short video that we recorded right
Yes.
here. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even want to say, but we're doing a little magic here at That Sound Studio. I'm helping a little bit engineering this beautiful, you know, melodica player. So we're doing this album. I'm so stoked about it. I can't wait for it to come out, you know.
Yeah, I hope we can do another session.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Forget about it. We're doing it 100%. No doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have all the links for Dubiterian. We're gonna put your Facebook page, whatever you need to promote. It's all gonna be down in the description below. I mean, we need to do a part 2 because you know we've touched on a lot of things, but I think we got more to talk.
Yeah. Another thing I can say, I'll be soon back in Brazil. And you know, this year lockdown changed everything, and then we'll see what happens next year. Yeah.
We'll see what happens next year, but you know, you can always reach out if you need them. If you need them melodica, rhythms, you know, listen, you know where to go. Dubiterian, you know, links in below. You know,
Thanks, man.
yeah, give thanks for coming down again.
Big up.
Yeah, big pleasure.
Thank
Watch
you.
watch out for our collaboration coming out soon.
Yeah.
And big up again, scientists. You know, rids the world of the even curse of the vampire. Mark Dubiterian.
Thank you.
I'm PaulSki. We're here in That Sound Studio. Make sure to subscribe, comment, link, you know, all the good stuff. And yeah, tune in for the next one, the Wave Show podcast, yeah? We out of here. Mark,
Bless it.
bless up, yeah?
Give thanks. One
Guys,
up.
take it easy. See you later.